Ryan Reynolds, buried. Here we are in San Francisco with Bonnie Steiger. I don't want you to miss that because that's a little bit special.
It is. It's important to note.
You're out there. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
You're out there telling everybody everything about this wonderful movie.
Mm-hmm.
This movie is different from you than all the others you did before. Mm-hmm. The most serious, the most dramatic. Mm-hmm. This movie is so dramatic that they can start whispering about you in Academy Awards.
Look, to be perfectly honest, shooting the movie, I didn't think that it would ever be seen by anybody. Specifically because it's kind of impossible. I mean, it's an impossible premise it's an impossible narrative challenge married to an impossible technical challenge. So I thought, as much as this fantastic director had convinced me otherwise, I still thought in the end, I'm going to see this movie, I'm going to say, well, it wasn't possible. Or someone's going to come and tell us that we need to cut away to the surface and we can't continue with Paul's journey inside this small, confined space. But in reality, it was kind of the opposite. This director managed to create a universe inside of this small space, not in spite of it, but because of it. And that's, I think, that therein was the reason that I think that people have responded so well to the movie. So.
Well, it was, first of all, Rodrigo Cortés, director. And he had only done one feature film before this.
Yeah.
A lot of shorts. Mm-hmm. So you're going on faith and a great script.
Yeah.
Which was workshopped at Sundance with some great people giving him wonderful advice. Let me ask you, he's Spanish. This is his first movie in English. Yeah. Did you have language problems or even sensibilities, European Spanish sensibilities to your American and most recently romantic comedy background?
Well, yes and no. Unlike a comedy or something like a movie like a romantic comedy or something to that regard, there's a right and a wrong way to do it, and sometimes that can be very limiting. But in a movie like this, there is no right or wrong. It's just honest. It has to be honest. If it's not honest, that's a problem. And you don't need to have English as your first language to feel an honest moment. And he and I really grew into what I would only categorize as a kind of director-actor marriage that was based on a series of very simple gestures and unspoken moments. I mean, it was odd. Five days into shooting, we rarely even had to speak. He'd just say, and I'd say, yeah, and then we'd do it. It was a it was a great partnership. I can't say I've ever had anything like that before, and I certainly hope to have it again. I would do any film with Rodrigo. So.
Even in a coffin instead of a crate.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I'd do the sequel. Cremation is what we're thinking.
Nice.
Which might be good. It's a short, but yeah.
How many different boxes were there?
There were 7. Each had a specific technical purpose and a name. Don't ask me to repeat the names because I don't remember them. But I know one was called the Joker, and that one was the least funny of the coffins.
Just describe the Joker to me.
The Joker was just the straight coffin. It did nothing, no tricks, no frills, and it was the one where the primary coffin that I used for the most part. I mean, it was. I just saw what it looked like the first day of shooting, and then by the last day of shooting, it was a completely different space. There was blood in it, some real, some fake. Sand everywhere, obviously. I mean, it was splintered, broken, snapped. It was jagged. I mean, it would rip your skin off if you even crawled into it. So it was a place I called home, though, for most of my journey.
How long did it take you to shoot this?
By Hollywood standards, incredibly short. It was 17 days.
You must be grateful for that.
I was, but it felt like 17 years, yeah.
And if you weren't claustrophobic before, are you now?
I have, to be honest, I have some issues with it now a little bit. The last few days of shooting were more practical than I'd ever imagined, and we had closed up all 6 sides of the box, and one side was glass. So there were paramedics on set each day, and it was a little unsettling. You'd go in there and you'd have these pseudo-panic attacks, but thankfully I had a wonderful actress who was playing all the roles that I was talking to, the other people that Paul was talking to on the phone. And she, because I had such a tremendous weight on my chest, my microphone was there, and she could feel my heart rate accelerate when I started to go into a panic attack in between shots. And she just kind of talked me down. She talked about, meadows and trees and birds and those sorts of things. But so that was kind of the trick at the end.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I'm waiting for your next one.
Me too.
Okay. Well, Green
Lantern. Yes, Green Lantern. Next June.
And no fake bodysuit.
No
Just
fake bodysuit.
some nice lycra and that was it.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for that.
Thank you so much.
You
nice
too.
meeting you.